What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and we are back with another video, this time a CGC unboxing. That's right, I finally got my books back from CGC. If you guys don't remember, I had sent 4 books in to CGC about 3 months ago, all on the express tier, so it probably cost me, with shipping included, about $100 per book. As you know, CGC raised their prices on submissions. I got it in at the old rate, but I believe if you factor shipping in, it's probably a little bit less than around $100 a book. So it was only 4 books, very high value dollar books in my opinion, except for one that probably is only around a couple $100 or so. But either way, I'm excited to get these bad boys back. There were some big key books in this submission that I wanted to protect. That's why I sent them out. It took them a while just to receive them into the computer, actually almost 2 months plus just actually receive them. But once they started grading them, it did go rather quickly, and they finally came back to me over the weekend. I was super stoked to find out them sitting at my work. I got them last night, ready to unbox them right now. So just to guys let you know, there was a Fantastic Four Giant Size X-Men #1, a Fantastic Four #48, a Werewolf by Night 32, and of course a Young Avengers #1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull out each book, talk about what the grades we thought they'd come back at, and of course the grades that they actually showed up at, and then of course I'm going to tell you what they're worth around these grades. So if you guys are ready, let's jump right into it. The first book I'm going to take out is the Young Avengers #1. So the guys who haven't watched the first video on this, it is a modern book, obviously the first appearance of the Young Avengers. It is a regular A cover. We did not know, and of course this is my stepson's books actually, and we did not know, we're not a lot of modern book collectors, so we didn't know what this grade was going to come back at. We were happy with anything over a 9.0. We didn't think it had a chance at a 9.8. We thought maybe like 9.2, 9.4, around that range. So let's check out what this book came back at. So let me pull it out. They actually really protected these books well. They sent 4 books back in this giant box. So this is it. Young Avengers #1 came back at a 9.4. So I think Ryan will be happy with this. The book looks pretty good. The one thing that we couldn't account for, we knew it had like one tick that we saw, but it looked to me like there was a little bit of a, and I'm sorry for the glare, a little bit of color rub right there. The book is actually not damaged there. It just looked like it's white there, but again, the book itself wasn't damaged, so we didn't know what that was, but my guess was that it affected the grade. But either way, the back looks pretty good. Either way, we're happy with a 9.4 on this. Of course, it did come back as white pages, so that is good. Overall, a 9.4 Young Avengers #1. He actually paid $65 or $70 for this book, and it is actually worth, believe it or not. Last sale was between $449, and there were 2 sales at $499. So I gotta say, he did pretty well for himself. We tried to actually sell this book raw beforehand, but we didn't have any takers, and I totally understand it being a modern age book. So now we kind of know what it's going to sell at, and it may be for sale. We got to check with him on that one. So the next book we're going to talk about is the Fantastic Four #48, the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. Now I will say this, I had 2 raw copies of this book. One I'm going to keep raw for now, and the other one I did send in to be graded. When I purchased this book, they told me it was about a 3.0, and it kind of looked like that to me, and that's what I thought the book was going to come back at. We're going to pull that out and show it to you guys shortly. I paid $1,700 for this book raw, and it was a little bit of a risk, but I figured with Silver Surfer eventually coming to the MCU, this book will skyrocket. Again, it has gone up so much already, and I did have a copy previous that I sold, so I wanted to add another one back to the collection. I found actually 2 raw copies, which is great. And I paid $1,700, and I'm going to see what this one came back at. So let's have a look. So this one came back at a, wrong one. How did I mess that up? Regardless, it came back at a 2.5. So a little bit lower than we expected. If you look at this book, I really did not think this book looked bad at all, to be honest with you guys. I do get the cool Silver Surfer logo at the top, which I think is awesome. I don't know why they really knocked this down about a half a grade off than what I thought. Pressed this book myself, looks really nice. Says cream to off-white pages. I don't know, guys. I think they hit this one a little hard. I couldn't figure out why. There is a little bit of staining on the back, you could see. Right here is a little bit of dirt right there. I don't clean my books professionally. Probably if I did that, I'd probably come back a little bit of a better grade. But either way, I think they shortchanged me on this one, as I think this is a really nice copy of this book. I really thought it should have gotten a 3.0, but we were stuck with a 2.5, and I'm okay. 2.5 value last sold, believe it or not, was $1,500. So I'm actually down a couple of $100. So either way, like I said, I still think this book is going to keep appreciating. So eventually I will be in the money. Right now I'm a little bit underwater, but that's okay. It's no big deal. Sometimes we take a chance, and I do, especially with raw books, because I find that you can get a better deal on raw books right now than you can on graded books. Sometimes you take a chance like I did right there, but to be honest, 0.5 off on what I thought it was going to be is not that big a deal to me. Eventually that book is going to go up again. So the next book I'm going to pick out of there is a giant size X-Men #1. When I purchased this book, it was a book I got from one of my LCSs, raw. It was absolutely a beautiful looking copy of this book. I've never seen the colors pop on a giant size X-Men 1 as this one did. The only issue it had was there is a little tear on the bottom part of the back cover. When I say about a tear, maybe about an inch, maybe a little bit more. Other than that, the book looked phenomenal. I pressed it myself, came out pretty good. They thought maybe when they sold it to me it was about a 6.0 or something like that, but we didn't know how that rip was going to affect the grade of the book. Maybe it was a 6.5, they said, around that range. So I don't know how that rip was going to take into account. Then I pressed it after that. So let's check out what this book came back at. And it came back out at a 7.0, which is absolutely amazing. And of course it's white pages, which is phenomenal. I knew this book was beautiful. You could see the colors pop on this thing. It's absolutely amazing. And of course I got the giant size X-Men logo there too. This has been harder and harder to find for a reasonable price. I actually paid $4,200 at my LCS, which is a pretty penny to pay for this book. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a lot of money, especially for a raw book, to take a chance on that. But let me guys tell you what a 7.0 is going for right now. You ready? The giant size X-Men 1 just sold for between $4,500, and another last sell was $5,499. So we had about a week apart, they sold for about $1,000 more difference each, which to me that's a lot of money. So I am not sure what is going on with this book. This is a white pager, which makes me super happy right now because that is probably more valuable than anything in my opinion. But either way, this book looks great. Proud to have a giant size X-Men 1 back in the collection, and now it's sealed. It's not going anywhere. This one I'm hanging on to. So I think we kind of more than made up for that Fantastic Four number 48, even though, like I said, I'm going to hang on to that one for a while as well. So that one was a nice price jump. The last one is a Werewolf by Night number 32, the first appearance of Moon Knight. Now I've owned this book before, and I sold this book way too early. When they first announced that Moon Knight was coming to his own Disney Plus series, I sold it. I had a CBCS copy, 6.5. My LCS got in a copy of this book, Raw, which is a beautiful looking book. I actually had no intention of buying it, and then I popped in a shop to kind of talk to the owner, just like I always do, just BS. And I saw it, and I'm like, wow, this looks pretty good. And to be honest with you, I could not help myself. So I picked it up. I paid a total of $2,700 for this book, Raw. Now, he had thought it was probably a 7.0, around that range, 7.5. I thought if I pressed it, it could be a little better, but I was really scared about this book because I wasn't sure. Again, it looks tremendous. I thought it could possibly get to an 8.0. I thought but more between a 7.0 and a 7.5. So let's check out what this book came back at. And this is the last one, guys. This one came back at an 8.0, which is another big deal. This one's off white to white, which I'm fine with. There's no issue on that one for me. This is a huge score for me. The owner at this LCS is awesome. Unfortunately, he moved away. Still owns the store, but lives in another state right now. But he actually really hooked me up with this book. I was happy to get it from him. He's such an awesome guy, and he did me a huge solid by selling me this. It does have a few ticks, maybe 2 to 3, but outside of that, all the corners on this book are super sharp. I wish they had a Moon Knight label because I would have gotten that as well. But other than that, this book was really, really awesome. Again, I'll show you guys the back. Not much to be said about the back. I will say this. CGC's cases, there has been some Like there's some spots. That's not on the book. That's on like the back of the case. I don't know if you guys can see that. If I shine the light, can you see it? See a little bit right there. I don't know what's going on with them. These cases are not up to snuff in my opinion. But either way, I'm happy to have this book back at an 8.0. I'm going to give you guys a sale, last sale for an 8.0. You're going to hit the floor because I said I paid $2,700 for this book. The last sale at an 8.0 was $4,250. So this is a monster win for me as well. I'm probably going to be hanging on to that one for a while as well, at least till we see Moon Knight, until maybe we get a trailer or the full show drops. I probably won't hang on to all this stuff forever. Can't hang on to anything forever. Eventually, they can't go with you to the grave, right, guys? So that is it for my CGC unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gives you a little bit of a sense of what you can do by buying raw books. Not everything is going to be a score, but I do believe you guys get better deals on raw books when you can find them. And I'm keeping a lot of books raw right now. I'm not actually jumping into everything and grading, slabbing everything like everybody else is. I like having raw books. I like holding raw books. You just got to be careful. You have to become a very good grader to look through a book, make sure it's complete, make sure you don't spot restoration. The hardest thing is to find out if a book's trimmed or not. Every time I sign like a Silver Age book to CGC or a Bronze Age book to CGC, I always worry it's going to come back a purple label. So these didn't. They all came back great, all blue labels, they all look good. So I think I did a really good job here. But that's my advice to anyone out there that is collecting older books. Become a better grader. That's the key to, in my opinion, getting deals in this type of market where everything is absolutely on fire. So that's it for this video, guys. If you guys haven't checked out my top 10s and my hot 10 list, I suggest you do. There's some really cool videos. Look for another hot 10 this week, probably going to drop on Saturday or Sunday. And with that said, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel and you've been digging my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And of course, I want you to smash that like button if you've been enjoying these videos that I'm putting out there. Let me know below. Let me know, did I do a good job picking out these books? Did I do a good job sending them to CGC? Would you rather, do you guys use other companies? I prefer CGC. Let me know what you think down in the comments because it's always appreciated. That's it. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.